Katya Woods, Cup of Social. Hi, guys. How are you?
Hey, how's it going?
Excellent. I love this movie. This movie made me
Ah,
want
thank
to go
you.
to a wedding. You know what I mean? Not just any wedding, an Indian wedding. I was like, this looks like so much fun. Talk about how important it is to see. Because I think, like, when we think of representation, we sometimes just think, like, in terms of like Black,
Hmm.
Latinx, and then if we think Asian, we think a very specific group. We don't often include people of Indian or Pakistani descent, but they're very much part of this country. And one thing I like about the community, I think they've done a really, really good job of the balance between culture and being an American. So talk
Mhm.
about that a little bit, if you don't mind.
Well, I think Indian or South Asians in general are very enterprising as migrants, and they do, as you say, a very good job of assimilating, and also a very good job of maintaining and preserving their culture that they're very proud of. And I think that this film really gives voice to that dual heritage and is a really great example of a family that has kind of, it's had that tug of war internally. Every member of the families, I would say, have had to reckon with their identities. And so the film is as much about that cultural representation as it is about love and these two people finding their way on their journey. And it is absolutely essential to, I think, talk about South Asian culture within the broader POC discussion and the idea of diversity and representation. Although I find diversity to be a
And
problematic
adverse.
a problematic word,
Hmm.
Yeah, me too.
but yeah, because it's still others people.
Hmm.
You're still talking about us as an other, and you're still giving us a category and a box within which to operate. But I do think the South Asian community in America specifically has been so successful and so important for this country's progress. And it's important that that be seen and that be heard in real time. I often say that, South Asians are relegated to the corners where they're not seen or heard. And, the arts and politics are places where they're often, I mean, although not the case now, I guess, with the Madam Vice President, but where they're not shown in a way that as ideas people, they're considered people that are there to do the hard yakka and the hard yards. And that's certainly my experience in Australia. So without rambling any further, I totally think it's important.
I'm Latina. I'm also, we moved to this country in 1981, and I know the expectations that family has of what you should become, right? And I hope that as we grow older and we have children, we let go of that expectation on our children. So talk about that too, because it's like him being a DJ is not a bad thing. I'm like, he's still posh, he's still successful, but it's not one of those, assumed professions that we identify with success. Talk about why it's important to letting the next generation find their way. It's not less part of the culture, it's just you being yourself. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, firstly, the first point to understand in all of this, I feel like, is that it comes from genuine care. Like you want your kid to be set up so that they can get whatever done, whatever they need to do. They'll be sorted. We don't have to worry about that aspect because if you're an immigrant, like first gen, then you're going to go through these things. It's obvious. It's normal. The truth of it is in communication, being honest. The fact of the matter is, most parents are going to be like, if you don't have a conversation, they'll be like, yo, become a doctor. What are you doing with your life? You're going to fail hard. If you can actually manage to have the conversations, be like, mom, dad, actually just, I love botany and I'm going to go into botany and I really love it. And I'll find a way to live through it. I will be a happy person. You won't have to support me anything in any other way than emotionally. I'll be there for you. You be there for me. And together we'll get through whatever it is I need to get through. But I'm not going to become a doctor. I want to be a botanist. Okay. That conversation never happens. And if it does happen, it comes from anger and animosity. So it's a two-way street, really. A kid can be mad at a parent, but if the kid never really chose to find a way to communicate with the parent what it really is about.
I ran away from home to become an actress. I studied law and left and told my parents I was going to do a master's in India. They found out much later that was my actual profession.
Boss.
Thank you so much, guys. I really enjoyed the film. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.